Testing, testing. Yeah, louder. Testing. Good afternoon. Hello. Good. Okay. Great. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kim Mizia. I'm the program director for the Northwest region of Canine Companions. It's my pleasure to welcome you to graduation day for our newest hearing and service dog teams. Graduation day is the culmination of Canine Companions' mission, where once tiny puppies fulfill their purpose as they graduate as service and facility dogs, enhancing independence and quality of life. Over the past 2 weeks, the 8 students you're about to meet have worked tirelessly to get to this point here today. Thank you so much for joining us to celebrate their success and the beginning of these new service dog partnerships. The unique and very special thing about our hearing dogs and service dogs for veterans, compared to some of our other placement categories, is that the dog is a more independent thinker. Hearing dogs must first hear and acknowledge the sounds they've been trained for, and then make a conscious decision to alert their handler. Among other tasks, the service dogs for veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder must be in tune with their handler to detect signs of anxiety or even signs of a nightmare, and also then make the decision to intervene. These responsibilities are tremendous and must occur despite distractions, which is no easy feat. It's this choice to stop everything else and either alert or interrupt the handler that is the magic of these dogs, which only grows wider and deeper as the bond between handler and dog develops. However, that magic would not be possible without the dedication and support of each person in this room and those who are joining us on the live stream. To our volunteers, donors, board members, clients, and staff, thank you for being such an important part of the Canine Companions mission. I know I speak for many when I say that I'm so excited to watch the magic unfold as we send these 8 new teams off to their lives together. So without further ado, please enjoy their team training video.
Good afternoon. I am Kaylee, and I'm an instructor here at Canine Companions. I had the honor of teaching our May hearing class with Ken Reed, And since Ken has been giving the team training speeches 4 times a year for the last 15 plus years, I figured I could give him a break. I apologize to the students who can't hear my voice as well as Ken, but thank goodness for the technology of live captioning, for you can read what I'm saying instead. This is the second hearing team training class I had the opportunity to assist Ken in teaching, and the first hearing dog I trained is also graduating in this group. I want to give Ken an extra large thank you for all of his guidance in training the hearing dogs, managing quirky behaviors that crop up, and empowering the dogs to alert in any environment. I also want to thank you for your wisdom when it comes to teaching team training classes and having the schedule be more of a guideline than a hard rule. You're a most excellent mentor, Ken. Thank you. Onto this team training. These 5 students were an absolute delight to teach. They came to class with a positive attitude, were supportive of their classmates, and asked great questions. Throughout class, Erna would often exclaim, "I just have the smartest dog," with her classmates responding with, "What a coincidence, so do I." With these smart dogs and conscientious students, we were often ahead of schedule, and it made teaching this class a breeze. All right, let's meet the students of this graduating class. First, I'd like to introduce Erna. You can stay. Erna is a successor who came to class for her 3rd dog. Having just returned from Machu Picchu a few weeks prior, Erna is just one of those people that makes you realize age really is just a number. Erna is a retired school teacher who's not wasting any of that free time. In fact, she has 3 cruises scheduled for this year. We needed a dog that could keep up with Erna's busy calendar. Erna, would you like to join me? Erna was matched with Velvet the Sixth, a yellow female lab golden cross. Presenting Velvet today is her puppy raiser, Marianne Colita of Folsom, California. Velvet was the 3rd dog she raised, and she's currently working on number 4. Congratulations to hearing team Erna and Velvet. Next, I'd like to introduce Andrea. Andrea is a graduate of UC Santa Cruz and is heading to vet school in the Caribbean later this year. Andrea asked a lot of questions in class, doing her absolute best to make sure she understood everything about her new dog. Andrea needed a special dog who'd be willing to wear all the protective gear necessary when in a lab environment, as well as settle in for the long lectures while Andrea is in school. Andrea, will you join me at the front? Andrea was matched with Sadie the Eighth, a yellow female lab. Presenting Sadie today is Gail Graybeal of Roseville, California. Sadie was the first dog she raised, and she's currently working on number 2. Cheers to hearing team Andrea and Sadie. Now I'd like to introduce Linda. Linda came to class every day with a wide smile and great enthusiasm for every activity, as well as some very exciting praise. She found her match in Sam, a dog that shows her enthusiasm through extensive licking and wagging her tail every time Linda smiles at her. Linda also had the easy task of finding her dog in the play yard, since she was the only one with a black dog out of the 8 graduating dogs today. Linda, if you'll join me, please. Linda was matched with Sam the 8th, a black female lab. Presenting Sam today is her puppy raiser, Michelle Carson of Mountain View, California. Sam was the 3rd dog she raised. Kudos to Hearing Team Linda and Sam. A little fun fact, Sam and Sadie are sisters, and their graduates were sitting next to each other the first day of class before they even knew who their graduate was going to be. Next, I'd like to introduce Jason. Jason came to class ready to work. During the first day of rotations, some of the dogs had difficulty understanding Jason and following his cues. Luckily, we had a clear match early on with Fremont, easily following Jason's directions. Fremont continually impressed us with his patience, understanding, and quick bonding with Jason. As the largest dog in the class, Fremont is kind of a gentle giant, and I'm excited to hear how he does with his new canine brother, a Corgi. They will definitely be a good-looking pair. Jason, will you join me at the front? Jason was matched with Fremont the 4th, a yellow male lab golden cross. Presenting Fremont today is his puppy raiser, Barbara Ferguson of Reno, Nevada. Ferguson was the... Fremont was the 2nd puppy she raised. Way to go, Hearing Team, Jason and Fremont. Finally, I'd like to introduce Mary Beth. Mary Beth was this class thinker. She read the entire textbook 3 times before coming to class. She often asked questions to which we would respond. We're getting ahead of us. We'll get to that. It was also quite common for Ken to say, "I can see your wheels turning. What are you thinking?" Luckily, we had the perfect dog for her with the same studious attitude and serious work ethic. Mary Beth, will you please join me? Mary Beth was matched with April the 7th, a female yellow lab. April was raised by Rick and Janet Williams and Jamie Stewart of Fallbrook, California. April was the 8th dog they raised. Presenting today is Janet Williams and Janet Williams. Cheers to Hearing Team, Mary Beth and April. And congratulations to all of our students graduating today with their new hearing dog.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marissa Raddick, and I am the training manager here at the Northwest region. I had the pleasure and privilege of working with 3 of our veteran graduates, Nate, Joe, and Rich, over the last 2 weeks. Bella, my amazing co-teacher, will be introducing these gentlemen and their new canine companions here shortly. But first, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize why most of us are walking into a 3-day weekend. Memorial Day commemorates the men and women who died while in the military service of their country, particularly those who died in battle or as a result of wounds sustained in battle. In other words, the purpose of Memorial Day is to memorialize the veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We would like to say thank you to those men and women who paid that ultimate price. We will also remember their sacrifices they made, and in remembering the fallen, we also honor their loved ones: spouses, fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, sisters, brothers, and friends. It's hard to put into words, but we do live in gratitude each and every day for the precious gift that they have given to us. And we wish to continue supporting the servicemen and women who have returned home with potential physical and invisible wounds. Thank you for your service.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bella. I'm an instructor here at Canine Companions. And for the past 3 months, I've had the pleasure of training these 3 amazing service dogs, Adelaide, Rowdy, and Selma, who will now start the next chapter of their lives with the handlers they've been matched with. I've been asked with a certain question several times throughout my career, which happens to be, how do you do it? Isn't it hard to give up the dogs? While we trainers definitely develop a bond with the dogs we train, there's nothing more special than seeing them grow and establish a relationship with their new handlers. When the dogs begin to naturally shift their focus on their new person and begin to depend on them for direction on how they can best serve them, you know you've made the best match possible. For the past 2 weeks, I had the honor of teaching these wonderful graduates, Nate, Rich, and Joe, alongside our very own training manager, Marissa. And I am so proud of all the hard work and dedication these gentlemen have put in, and I can't wait to introduce you to them all. Nate, would you please come join me up front? Nate has been pre-matched with a female Lab Golden Cross. I didn't say Labrador. I thought it was Labrador for the entire team training, and Nate kindly reminded me today that she's actually a Lab Golden Cross. So Adelaide, we could always count on Nate's great sense of humor to make us laugh every single day in class. Over the last 2 weeks, Adelaide, who can be a more reserved dog that needs some time to warm up to her new person, gradually began to flourish underneath Nate's care. By the end of this week, it was amazing to see how in tune Adelaide has become with Nate's needs. Equally obvious was Nate's sincere appreciation for the unconditional love and support that Adelaide is already providing for him. Adelaide will join Nate while out in public and help by interrupting early signs of anxiety, and will help ground him when things start to unwind. Presenting Adelaide today are her raisers, John and Mary Licklider of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Adelaide, yep, you guys can come on up. Adelaide was the 13th puppy they have raised. And they look forward to puppy raising again in the future. Congratulations to Team Nate and Adelaide.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Congratulations. All right, I'd now like to invite Rich up front, please. Rich has been matched with a female Lab Golden Cross named Selma. Throughout class, Rich has been a thoughtful and intuitive student. He has been nothing but transparent and communicative and was consistently receptive to our coaching and insights. Selma has a high work drive and tends to offer an abundance of behaviors, But underneath that work drive is a soft, sweet, and solicitous soul who just wants to be close to her person. We would occasionally catch a glimpse of Selma offering an unsolicited laugh, which helped to ground Rich in the present moment during class. Rich is looking forward to sharing special new moments, like the birth of his upcoming grandchild with Selma by his side. Although her task-based commands will be an integral part of their partnership, Selma's presence alone will be an enormous sense of security in Rich's day-to-day life. Selma will provide comfort through deep pressure to alleviate any signs of anxiety. Presenting Selma today is her puppy raiser and also breeder caretaker, Karen Riggs, in Fair Oaks, California. Selma was the third puppy she has raised, and she's currently the breeder caretaker of Selma's sister, Sahara. Here she comes. Congratulations, Team Rich and Selma. All right. Last but not least, I'd like to invite Joe up front with me. Joe has been matched with a male yellow lab retriever, Rowdy. Joe is an outdoorsy guy who enjoys rowing, swimming, and camping. Joe and Rowdy's personalities are aligned. They both have a steady, mellow energy, and throughout class we saw just how nicely they complement each other. Rowdy has already become Joe's sidekick, and together they'll experience Joe's outdoor passions as a team. In Joe's words, Rowdy is capable of anything, and Joe is excited about the partnership that has already begun to blossom between them. With Rowdy by his side, Joe will experience a renewed sense of motivation at the start of each day. Presenting Rowdy is his puppy raiser, Krista Wookie of Tehachapi, California. Rowdy was the second puppy she has raised, and she's currently raising number 3. Congratulations, Team Joe and Rowdy. Oh, yeah, that's a stretch. All right, I'd like to now invite Kim back to the mic. Take it over.
All right. Thank you, Bella. Since our founding, Canine Companions has been proud to place our assistance dogs with veterans with disabilities. We present each veteran graduate with a challenge coin, and I'm honored to be able to present Joe, Rich, and Nate with challenge coins today. Nate and Joe served in the Army, and Rich served in the Navy. Please join me in thanking them for their service. You guys can have a seat. You can have a seat, thank you. And now I'd like to invite Linda back up to the stage as the class speaker for our hearing dog students, followed by Joe, who will speak on behalf of the service dog students.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story. I lost my medium and high tones when I was pregnant with my first child 40 years ago. At the time, the doctors told me they didn't have any solutions for me, and all they could tell me was just learn to live with it. So soon I developed all those tricks that I'm sure all of my fellow classmates also learned. So I would do things like put captions on the television, or position myself next so that I could see people's faces, so that I could read their lips. Or I found out that in meetings, people always face the leader in the meeting. So if you sit next to the leader, then you can see what people are talking about in the meeting, because they'll always talk towards the leader. And I hated to talk on the phone. I would send texts or emails. That was my preferred method of communication that way. Well, eventually, I was able to get cochlear implants, a development that replaced so much of my missing hearing. And now I do very well with my bilateral, one on each side, cochlear implants. But they don't give me perfect hearing, and I'm dependent on the processors on the side of my head. Without them, I revert back to that near-deaf state that's filled with silence. That generates fear, worry about all the what ifs. You know, your mind just goes about with all of the what ifs could happen, and a hesitancy to be alone. I could share unlimited stories with you about times when my hearing promoted all of those negative feelings. One time I turned on the water in the kitchen sink. I, for whatever reason, forgot, walked away. The sink filled. I didn't hear the water dripping on the floor. I totally destroyed my kitchen floor. Very expensive. Another time, about an hour after we'd gone to bed, a candle we'd blown out the candle when we went to bed, but the smoke kind of seeped through the air, made the smoke alarms go off. My granddaughter, who had been spending the night, came and climbed in bed with me while Grandpa's dealing with the alarm. And she's like, Grammy, it's so loud. I couldn't even hear it. And it made me think, what if there was an emergency and I'm home alone? You know, what would I do? So a few years ago, someone in a Facebook hearing loss group mentioned how hearing loss dogs could help people with hearing loss. So I did my research. I looked into it. I was amazed that this was offered to the recipients at no charge to them. So, of course, I quickly applied. And then I was thrilled when I was finally accepted into the program. And then, after a very, very long wait, as I'm sure all my fellow classmates can relate to, I received that call, the exciting one that that invited me to come to team training, and that was the start of my precious journey with Sam. We're learning together how she can alert me and lead me to sounds, and those ones that I'm missing, and she's well on her way to providing me with a newfound confidence and independence. So I'm tremendously grateful to Canine Companions, to the generous donors and the breeders, caretakers, and the friendly staff that we've encountered, our excellent trainers, Ken and Kaylee, and how much fun I've had with my fellow classmates that have been with me over the last 2 weeks, but especially the puppy raisers who brought each of us dogs like Sam to all of us. So I'm sure I speak for all of my fellow classmates to say we are so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda, for sharing your story. And thank you all again for being here with us today. With that, we will conclude today's ceremony, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend that is both full of celebration and rest. But as Marissa reminded us of the importance of Memorial Day, I encourage you each to take pause and reflect on its great history and pay tribute to the brave men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Now, as we tell the dogs when they are free to play, you're all released.